Hello dear students, welcome to my science class. So students, we were studying the chapter Getting to Know Plants, and we have already studied about the leaf, the stem and the root. And today I'll start the most colorful part of the plant, and that is the flower, right? So here you are shown with 3 branches of rose in this A figure. The branch, it is a leafless branch. This B figure, it has leaves on the branch, and in this C there are leaves as well as flowers also. Now can you tell me, out of these three, which branch will be the best to recognize a plant? And the answer is C. Why? Because it has flowers, and the flowers have a lot of variety because of their color, their shape, their size, their appearance. So are all flowers colorful? Have you ever seen flowers on grass, wheat, maize, mango or guava? Are those brightly colored? Let us study a few flowers. So are all flowers colorful? Have you seen the flowers of grass? Are they colorful? No. The size, the color, everything of flower has a lot of variety. And in this part, we will study about this variety. So for that, we will study few flowers. But we will not take marigold, chrysanthemum or sunflower, because when you will go to higher classes, you will study that these are not a single flower, they are a group of flowers. They are called as inflorescence. A single flower like a rose or a hibiscus is a single flower, but sunflower is a group of flowers. So we will not take that. So you can take any of the flowers from your locality. So as you can see here, the color of the flowers is different. The size of flowers are different. Some flowers are very small, some flowers are very large. The number of floral parts, that is, we have studied about the sepals, petals, they vary in different flowers. The shape of the petals vary. So in this part we will study about that. So for this activity we would require 1 bud, 2 fresh flowers each of any of the following: dhatura, china rose, mustard, brinjal, lady's finger, gulmohar, a blade, a slide or a sheet of paper, and glass, magnifying glass and water. Magnifying glass is to have a closer view. If you don't have, you can watch the flower like that only. Observe figure 7.20 carefully. Look at the prominent parts of a flower. So first of all, let us see the prominent parts. So a flower has sepals, the green colored part. First it has a stalk. This is called as a stalk. The part on which the flower is there is called as the stalk. Then the green colored part, leaf-like part, is the sepal, and the colored parts are the petals. This is a bud and this is a flower. So this is the diagram of a flower. As you can see, this is the stem or the stalk of the flower. Then these green colored part, they are called as sepals or calyx. Calyx is the name, or we can call it as sepals. Then the colored part is the petals. It is the petals. Then we have the female reproductive part, the pistil, and the male reproductive part, which is the stamen. And We'll further study the different parts of a female reproductive part, that is the pistil, and the male reproductive part, that is the stamen. So this sepal and petal, they are the non-reproductive parts or vegetative parts, while the pistil and stamen, they help in reproduction. They are the male reproductive part and the female reproductive part of a plant. So they are the reproductive parts, the pistil and the stamen. Now you have to take the flower and observe the petals and sepals in the closed bud also and in the flower also. So what will you see? These small leaf-like structures, which I have told that they are sepals, and the colored structures, which are the petals. Now observe these petals and sepals, and you have to observe how many sepals does it have. You have to observe, you have to count these sepals, and then are they joined together? Are the color of petals, and what is the color of petals and sepals? So what you have to check? Firstly, you will check the sepals and petals, the number of sepals and number of petals. Then you will check whether they are joined together or they are separate. Then you will so you must be wondering how sepals are or petals are joined together or not. So this is a bell-shaped flower. The petals are in a shape of bell, and all the petals are joined together to make this funnel-like structure. And you can count the number of petals. This is one petal, this is two petal, three, four, and fifth is towards the back. So total there are 5 petals, and they are all joined together. Here in case of rose, you can count the number of petals, and you can also see that all the petals are separate. Here these petals are joined together. The sepals are separate, but the petals are joined together. Here the sepals and petals both are separate. The sepals are not visible here, but you can observe a rose plant. Now you can see the variety of flowers, the shape, and then you can count the petals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The number of petals are different. Some are joined, some are separate. All the petals are separated, and some are joined together. Here it is joined together. So when you will observe the number of sepals, number of petals, you will find that there is a lot of variation. In sepals also, there is a lot of variation in the number of sepals in each flower, whether they are joined or not. So you have to observe all these points of sepals and petals, and you have to fill the table. On the basis of that, you have to fill this table 7.3. You will write the name of the plant, then you will write the number and color of sepals like 4, 5, 3, 6, and you will write the color, whether green or some other color. Then you will write the number of petals and color of the petals, like if 5 or 10, and then color maybe red or whatever. Then are the sepals joined or separate? You will fill that. And similarly, are the petals joined or separate? You will write this. For observing the stamen and pistil, if the petals are all joined, what you have to do? We have to dissect a flower. Dissection means we have to cut it open to see whether the petals, stamens and pistils are of what type. So let us observe that. To see the inner parts of flower clearly, you have to cut it open if its petals are joined. For example, in Dhatura and other bell-shaped flowers, the petals have to be cut lengthwise and spread so that the inner parts can be seen clearly. The figure is 7.21. This is a bell-shaped flower. I have already shown you the bell-shaped flower, and because if we want to observe the female and male reproductive parts, what we have to do, we have to cut it open. Students, let us see how can we dissect a flower. We'll take a hibiscus flower. So this is a hibiscus flower. First, take out all the sepals, the green colored sepals, and they need to be removed. So very carefully start removing the sepals. Then after removing the sepals, after removing all the sepals very carefully, we have to remove the petals. This is the next step. You can observe whether these petals are joined together or they are separate. You can count the number of petals also in the meantime. Now this filament-like structure remains. These are the two reproductive parts. Sepals and petals are vegetative part. They help in they do not participate in reproduction. But the next two parts, that is stamen and the pistil, they are the reproductive parts. Now this is the filament-like structure. With the help of a blade, this is the style. The female reproductive part, that is the pistil, is divided into three parts. The stigma, the uppermost part is the stigma, the style, and the ovary. The lowermost part is the ovary. This filament-like structure, the reddish colored filament pipe-like structure, is the style. We have to dissect this filament. And inside this, the female reproductive part is there. This is the ovary. The lowermost swollen part is ovary, and you can cut it open once horizontally and once vertically to see the ovule. Inside the ovary, there are tiny, very tiny egg cells, which are called as the ovules. So when you will open it, you can see the very, very tiny, very small ovules inside it. You can perform the dissection simultaneously if you have the flower. Now let us revise again. These are the petals, which are colorful, and generally they are there to attract the insects for pollination. These yellow colored structures are the anthers or the male reproductive part, and they produce pollen grains. And the red colored, 5 dot like red colors, they are the stigma of the pistil. This is the ovules and this is the ovary. These are the sepals. They protect the flower when it is in the bud stage. So we have seen the different parts of a plant, that a flower has four main parts. The sepal, which is green in color and it protects the plant in bud stage. The petals, which are colorful and they help in attracting the insects. Then the stamens, which are the male reproductive part, and the pistil, which is the female reproductive part. Now, if we see the stamens carefully, we'll find that it has two parts. The filament, the long tube-like structure, which is called as the filament, and the upper part, which is the anther. This anther contains very tiny spores, which are called as pollen grains. And this is the structure of pistil, the female reproductive part. It has stigma. You observed hibiscus, the red color dot like structures, they are the stigma. Then there is a long tube like structure which is called as the style, and at the base here it is swollen in nature. It is swollen, and it is the ovary, and inside the ovary we have the ovules. Now there is another activity, activity 11, in which we will study about this ovary to see the arrangement of ovules. Now let us study the structure of ovary. It is the lowermost swollen part of the pistil. We will cut this part to study what is inside. Look at figure 7.25a and b. So firstly, here we are cutting it like this. This is called as longitudinal section, LS, or longitudinal section. We are cutting it vertically above to below, and this is a transverse section. We are cutting it horizontally. This is a vertical section and this is a horizontal section. So what we will observe when we will cut it longitudinally or vertically, we will observe that the ovules are arranged in this pattern. There is a central line, and on both sides of it there are ovules. And when we will cut it horizontally, we can see it like this. A circular structure divided into different parts where ovules are there. So when you will observe the ovary by cutting it vertically or in the longitudinal section, what you will observe? There is a central column, and on both sides of it ovules are there. Ovules or egg cells are there. This is the stigma, this is the style, and this is the ovary, the swollen part. And these three parts are collectively called as pistil. This is the corolla or petals, and these are the sepals, green colored structures. So can you label that? What is this? This is a stalk. This is a stalk. This is the stem. This is the stalk, and on this, these green colored structure number 7. These are the sepals. Number 1. These are the petals. Then this whole structure is the pistil. This structure with the filament and anther is called as the stamen. The green colored, this filament is tube-like structure is the filament, and this upper part is the anther. And as I have told, inside this anther there are small, very very small spores which are called as the pollen grains. And these pollen grains, they mix with these ovules, which I have already told. They combine with these ovules to form the seed. They form the zygote, which develops into a seed. So after fertilization, that is the mixing of egg cell and the pollen grain, they form the seed. These ovules form the seed. This is the structure of ovary, TS, the vertical section of longitudinal section of the ovary. This is the ovary, and inside it these are the ovules. So this is the structure, the proper labeled structure. Peduncle and receptacle is not in your syllabus, so no need of revising that. Just remember that this is the stalk of a flower. This is sepal, this is ovule, this is ovary, this is filament of anther, filament of stamen, this is anther, these are petals, stigma, style, ovary. Now the transverse section. If you cut the ovary, if you cut this ovary horizontally in this way, then it will look like this, a circle, inside it this is the central column or the stalk, and on sides of that the ovules are there. Here this structure differs in plant to plant, flower to flower it varies, that is why different types. So students, we have observed the ovules also. Now you have to draw and label the different parts of ovary in your notebook. Draw it neatly. Now try to find out the name of as many flowers as you can. Now you can dissect those flowers, you can observe those flowers, how many petals are there, how many sepals are there, what is the color, you can count the number of stamens also, you can observe the pistil also. Did you find any flower which has no difference between sepals and petals? Did you find any flower in which the number of stamens is different from the number of petals? So there you will find a variety of flowers, and you just have to observe those different varieties. So you will observe that all these structures vary in plant to plant. In some of the plants, one or two structures may be missing also. Maybe sepals are not there, or maybe it has only pistil, or it has only stamen. That you will learn in your higher classes. So students, we have completed this chapter. In this chapter we have studied the various parts of a plant, then we have studied the different parts like stem, leaf, root and flower in detail. And in higher classes you will further study about these parts in more detail. So till then students, thank you so much. I hope you have understood the chapter properly and you enjoyed the chapter. Okay students, bye.